Hello, folks, and welcome back to episode 3 of the Wonder Kiwis. So, as you will see, what this entails is I've generated two players based in New Zealand, from New Zealand, aged 15 when we started off, with a potential of 200. So, they've got the potential of being Wonder Kids, or in this series, Wonder Kiwis. And it's interesting to see where they go and how they track being from New Zealand, which is, in the default database, a non-playable league. I have used the database that I used for my last series that finished, New Zealand to the World. So, and that gave me the access to the league, so that's why I've started it as well. And a good way to finish it off, that series, and definitely inspired by Billsy in his Wonderkid series. Urge you to go to his YouTube channel, which is down there in the description, and go and check out all his series. As binge watch is what I did, and catch up, because his current one is in Australia with Perth, and it looks like he's going to have a massive one at the end of this series too, from all his campaigns. So definitely worth checking out. Let's get into today. And as you'll spot there, both kids have moved on, and quite bigly is what I'm going to say. Who doesn't think that's a word? Oliver. So Oliver is valued at 1.6 million, 4.7k per week. He is now with AS Monaco at 21 years old. Not too shabby. Whereas we have Jack here. Jackie's valued at 4.9 million, 11.75 per week, and he's with the Gooners, Arsenal. And of course, both 21 years old, not related. They just happen to have the last name. So yeah, interesting. So both kids have moved on. So it'll be very interesting to see how we look into that one there. I just touch on, because I can't remember if we have touched on their heights. So both right-footed. Oliver's 6'2" compared to Jack's 6'1". Oliver is 86, so compared to Jack's 80 kilos. Now, last time we looked at them, they're pretty much even all around, except for about I think Jack had one and Oliver two ahead, so it's slightly changed here. Defending, so Jack leads in the defending and the vision, whereas Oliver leads in physical, mental, and attacking, with the other three remaining equal. So it's kind of, it has moved around a little bit, and we'll be able to see where and why shortly. Let's go into Oliver. So Oliver here is 13 for heading, marking 12, and tackling 14. So he's made drastic improvements. If I recall, he was one of these was quite low here. I think it was 11 here for marking with Oliver. Mentally, he's got a 14 for decisions, 13 for positioning, and his physicals are still pretty high. 14 for acceleration and strength, 12 for pace and stamina, with 13 for jumping reach. He's still got that low natural fitness of 5. So it'll be interesting to see if that comes up, or how it affects these stats. I think some of these mentals have actually crept up a bit more as well, which is always a good thing. So he's now reached, he's been capped at under 23 levels, which we know from last episode, but he's actually now got 31 New Zealand caps. So it'll be interesting to see if they're full caps or what. So before we go into any further detail, let's have a look at his career stats. Wow, okay. So we left you in 2020, 1920, just finished. We realised that was a database issue, which I mentioned. That's fine. So 2020-21, which was the season he was just about to kick into when we last with you, he made 20 appearances, 3 goals, 4 player of the match awards, for 7.07 average rating. That was obviously enough to get the attention of Monaco. He was placed in the reserves there, played no games, played 5 non-competitive games, so friendlies, for AS Monaco reserves. But then he went on a free to Monaco by looks, or was released, and he's played no games for them either on the first league, and he has played 3 cup games, if you'll see there. I believe there probably are cup games for Monaco, so that'd be interesting to see there in League One. Then he's moved again on loan. Okay, so they've loaned him out to Bremen in the Bundesliga. First division, German first division, in Germany, and again he made no appearances. Okay, so he hasn't made any appearances, and this is the season here that he looks like he's come back and has been into the Monaco reserves for this upcoming season. So it's interesting. He's made a move. It's a free move though, and he's made no appearances as such, apart from a few Cup games down here. So it'll be interesting to see how he kicks on. Let's look at his injuries and just see. Okay, he's had one major one, which is a broken toe. I wonder if he had to put a cast right up to his knee for that, or something else. Right, it's a slight to moderate injuries. um, okay, let's have a look at his entire career. All right, interesting. All right, so 2000 and we left you 2020 here. So 2021, he was named Team of the Month for Team Wellington, quite a fair bit there. New Zealand Football Championship Most Outstanding Player of the Month for February, so he won that in 2021. Wow, that's pretty good. He picked up another winner's medal, this time with Team Wellington, so that'd be his second one with Team Wellington in the New Zealand Premiership, and then he was named in the 2021 New Zealand Football Championship Team of the Year, Young Player of the Year for New Zealand same year, and Player of the Year. So a very impressive year for the lad. Of course, again, also named as Team 11 seasonal best 11, and he broke the record, Team Wellington's record, for the most player of the match awards in a season with 4. He was then released on a free transfer. I wonder if his contract would have been due to be renewed, so I can't see the team wanting to release him. He probably just refused to take a new contract. Winners in the World Cup Oceania qualifying section for New Zealand for the World Cup. That'd be interesting. They obviously didn't go any further. Named an overall New Zealand Best 11 2022-23. And then on loan with German First Division club, he was relegated on the loan there. So he was part of a relegation there. It didn't really work out. And as we can see with Monaco, nothing there and just that. So it was a free transfer or free. They just picked him up on a freebie. Interesting that. Transfers, no status is set, but he is available for loan. There's a bit of interest from a few clubs here: Montpellier, Strasbourg, Torres, Laurent, and Guingamp, I guess you could say that. So it'll be interesting to see how he goes. And he's got a value of 1.6 million. Interesting. So that is Oliver. I'll have a look now at his buddy Jack. So Jack here, 14 for heading, 14 marking, and 13 for tackling. So he did drop down, I believe, in tackling. That looks like it has come back up. 12 for aggression, 14 decisions, and 15 for positioning. That 15 for positioning is pretty damn good for a 21-year-old. Physically, a lot better than his mate. 15 for acceleration and natural fitness. So it's going to help him going forward. 12 for pace, 14 for strength and agility, and a 13 for jumping reach. So he can jump. He can jump in the air like he just don't care. Let's have a look at his career stats. And we'll see here for his last season with Hawke's Bay. 17 appearances, 1 goal, 2 player of the match awards for a 6.76. Okay, not too bad. A lot less compared to his mate Oliver. And again, it looks like he's gone on the free. So again, it looks like at this stage hasn't decided to pick up a new contract with Hawke's Bay. He's then been picked up by Arsenal. Hasn't played any games apart from non-competitive, 23 games. Following season 22-23 again, under 23. So he's in the Arsenal under 23s. He's played 39 non-competitive. So if I read that right, that includes reserve games and things like that. But he has played 4 cup games that season for an average of 6.78. So he did play some games there for the cups. So interesting, and I wonder if he can kick into it this season. So he's in the Arsenal 23s. Have a look at his injuries. A major one, sports hernia, that took him out for about 4 weeks. Milestones, be very similar, I guess, to his mate. 2021, named in the New Zealand Seasonal Best 11 and Hawke's Bay Best 11. Released on a transfer. Winners of the World Cup qualifying section with New Zealand, and he runners up in the Checkatrade Trophy with Arsenal. So okay, so he gets a runners up medal there in the Checkatrade Trophy. So not a bad little bit there. It would have been that year when he played those games. First international goal against Venezuela. So he has scored a goal for New Zealand, and he was named in their seasonal best 11 that same year, 2023. So that's not bad. Kicking on. Be interesting to see who his we don't really need to look at his contract. Transfer status is available for loan as suspected, and there is loan interest from a few clubs. Doesn't look like there's any major. Looks like BMG, Genoa, San Sebastian, and Villarreal. So he may be on loan there. Hopefully, be able to pick up a little bit of game time. Let me know if there's anything else that you'd like me to look at. Let's have a look at dynamics for what it's worth. Pleased to have signed a new contract. So it looks like he's recently signed a new contract with Arsenal and hoping to gain that first team experience by going on loan. So let's look at his contract then. 11.75 per week. Well, quite a few extras there and potential wage increases as well. So he's contracted until 2027, which is 4 years old. So he'll be what? 4 years old. 4 years ago, he'll be 25, which perfectly marries up with when we plan on coming back. So I think that is all. It'll be interesting to see. I still am interested that they haven't signed a new contract with their Kiwi club. Whether it's because they already had the interest from some other clubs, so they just wanted to do it that way. Be interesting to see. So we'll leave it there, folks, and then we'll come back for their 25th. So I'll be coming back just before, probably around 31st of July or August the 1st, for their this season when they'll be 25 years old. So another 4 years. So it'll be interesting to see if they've kicked on and made anything of themselves, or they're just going to be peripheral under 23 youngsters, hot prospects. All right, folks, we'll catch you later. See you.